Let us for a few moments concentrate on the Divine Master and pray for peace and happiness of the whole universe. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stavakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stavakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. In the last two classes, we have discussed about spiritual practice in general and how it is very important to engage ourselves totally in practices, in following disciplines, in order to achieve the goal in this very life. Today's topic I have chosen the challenge of karma. Everyone is very familiar with the word karma. Means activity, action. As soon as we are born in this world, we are knowingly or unknowingly acting, breathing, seeing, hearing, speaking. All these are all activities. There is nobody in this universe who is without activity. Lord Krishna himself declares in the Bhagavad Gita, he is all the time engaged in action. If he stops doing action even for a moment, the whole world will collapse. So that means action, karma is there. As long as this world is there, karma is there. The point is how we are to realize our true nature by engaging in karma, which releases you from karma. It all depends on what attitude you are performing karma. Karma is a very comprehensive word. It's extremely general. But you have to understand its importance, its significant role in our life. So, as the famous saying, as you sow, so you reap. It is a fact. So, it is very important to know how we perform our activities in our life. So, your destiny is determined, your future life is determined in the manner in which you have conducted your life. So, it is very important to know this fact. Every act has its bearing on your life. Every action, even thinking, is an action, activity of the mind. Sleeping, you are sleeping, but sometimes you have dreams, that's activity. And you are breathing continuously, it is activity. So activity is the life. If there is no activity, it is considered dead. So, but I am just trying to draw your attention on various aspects of karma and how you have to face the challenges. You have come into this world to face the challenge. That fact you must know. Then it is worth. By trying to challenge the karma, you are strengthening yourself and going in the right direction to reach the goal. But you must be totally conscious of your spiritual ideal. Then only you will understand all these factors. If your goal is just to have some worldly prosperity, then it ends up in a different way. There is no release from the activity. On the other hand, you become more involved in the activity, even though after some time you leave this body, still you are born again. Because you have involved yourself in so many ways and you have entangled yourself amidst likes and dislikes. You have built up that structure, infrastructure. So you are pushed to take another birth. Of course, that pushing is done by the divine power, which you are not aware of. So, Swami Brahmanand Ji, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, he was giving instructions to his disciples because he knew exactly where the aspirants suffer. So he would clearly point out the reason for suffering and also gives clear solution. Many times we are in a state of suffering. Sometimes we don't know why we are in that depressed state, but still we feel we are not happy. That's because probably we may remember whatever the sins we might have committed in our past time, and that getting into remember the old things may disturb the mind. Well, Swami Brahmananda ji, a great spiritual person, he says, don't distress the mind by thinking of sins. It may be true, you might have committed horrible sins. They are horrible, terrible, nasty. Everything is true in the eyes of men and not of God. His one glance can scatter off the skins, it can scatter off the sins of millions of births. Just one glance is enough. To give an example, there was one disciple, Girish Chandra Ghosh. He said he has committed Himalayan blunders. Nobody in this world has committed more sins than himself. Such a person came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna. What happened? All his sins were washed away. Totally washed away. Not a trace of impurity is in him. So he was purified to such an extent. He began to experience the glory of Sri Ramakrishna, and he would declare openly, anywhere, everywhere, that Sri Ramakrishna is veritable incarnation of God. Whoever comes to him is remarkably blessed. Take my own example, he would say. You must read his life, Girish Chandra Ghosh, life of Girish Chandra Ghosh. You will be astonished to read how Sri Ramakrishna transformed him from beastly nature to the level of the divine. So, the fact is that, of course, if you do any wrong action, you must suffer from disquiet of mind and other consequences. But if you know you have bad impressions, there is no cause for worry. Because you can correct them from today onward. There lies your challenging attitude. Well, situation is like this. How do you correct it? So whatever is done. Don't look back. Don't keep on brooding over the weakness, but think of strength. Create a set of new impressions. You must set into motion such activities by which you are uplifted. After a few days you will find that the old bad impressions are being replaced by good ones. It depends upon with what intensity you are formatting yourself in trying to establish good samskaras in your life. If you are concentrating positively on the activities which are helpful for creating good impressions, and those impressions, they sat over the bad impressions. The bad impressions have no time to unfold themselves. They are just buried under the pressure of the good impressions. So you have to pay utmost attention in doing actions proper way, in a proper way. That means always you must be aware of your spiritual aspiration and your spiritual attitude. It is very important. Without that, nothing will happen. That means a lot of practice is necessary if you wish to perfect yourself. For example, every day you use a knife for cutting fruits and vegetables. After the work is done, you put back the knife in a particular place, a particular stand is made for it, and you put it there. And you want to put it there so that you can get it anytime you want. You just go there and pick it up. So this is, since you are doing it every day, you are putting the knife in the same place. This is a matter of habit. And this habit also is due to samskaras. Even in the dark, you can put your hand in the right place and find the knife. To give another example, some time back, occasionally it happens, the light suddenly went off. Night, probably at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. That is the usual time when I used to get up, because I will come to the shrine by 4:30 morning. So before that I finished my ablutions, and that time is very valuable for me. Immediately the light went off, pitch dark. But I had kept my candle stand in a particular corner. I knew the place also. So without any problem, I just went and touched it. I got that candle. I lighted it up. Immediately the light came. Anyway, how it is very important to do the things in a proper way, so that you get the benefit of that. So even in the dark, you can put your hand in the right place and find the knife. Suppose you suddenly place it elsewhere. When you want the knife, by your force of habit, you will first put your hand in the old place and feel for it. Then you remember that you had changed the position. Afterwards, you will go to the new place and get the knife. Now, this is called the samskar or abhyas. Lord Krishna deals with this subject in the Bhagavad Gita, Abhyasa Yoga. You can achieve anything in this world through practice. Abhyasa means repeated practice. Doing repeatedly. Not simply doing one day, after 1 month again doing another. Like that, millions of years you do, it will have no effect. You have to do it vigorously. That's why we tell, When we initiate mantra, when we give mantra to the disciples, we tell, you have to repeat it every day as many times as possible. They are very particular. How many times we have to repeat, Swamiji? If you say 1,000 times, they may say, oh, it's not possible. They may say. So you have to tell them in such a way, already you repeat 108 times. Even that also they will not do properly. Anyway, do it properly. Do it repeatedly. Do it vigorously. All these points are important. Then it becomes the yoga of practice. Whatever you practice will later on become samskaras. If you have really understood that your old impressions are bad and that you should acquire good ones, then why do you delay? Don't delay even for a minute. The best period of your life is slipping by. It won't return. But if you practice, you will see for yourself that within a few days a change will come over you. Everything will become clear and become easy. When you do repeatedly, good actions, good impressions will establish themselves. God has given man the sense of free will and the principles of karma. It is left to man to do as he wishes. He has got a little freedom, he wants to do this way, that way. Let him do. If he chooses to do action which bring him less happiness and more misery, then who is responsible? He alone is responsible, not God. You did it. You have it. That's all. You ate the bitter melon, then why do you complain it was bitter? Because you ate it. So, the best thing is not to complain. Anyway, if a person performs his duties and his life embodies the spirit of detachment throughout, he will ultimately attain the highest goal. In other words, he will see God in everything and attain pure knowledge, which will burn all the seeds of karma. He will not be born again. Why the question of taking birth again and again comes? It's because of the infrastructure you have built upon. You want to do so many things, so you are not satisfied, so you want to take more births and do more actions and involve more and more. So your own actions are leading you to repeated births. Because your thought is not concentrated on reaching the God. On the other hand, it is diverted to doing things involving yourself in unreal things of the world, causing finally suffering. So, if you push a thing, for instance, it will move so long as it has got that momentum. And if not pushed further, it will then stop. we provide new impetus to our karmas in every birth, thus continuing the cycle of rebirths. But if you check it completely, that is, if you rise over your desires, you will have no further rebirths. How to rise yourself over the desires? There comes the value of discrimination. What's the use of desiring all nonsense things? Where is the end to that? So you have to discriminate yourself and you have to reject. Once Swami Chidananda, another direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, he was asked a question. Somebody asked him, how can we reconcile the relentless law of karma ruling man's destiny and the idea of an omnipotent, beneficent God? Swami Chidananda ji, another great spiritual person, he replied, yes, they appear irreconcilable if we take them literally as two compact aspects of the same theory. Strictly speaking, those who take karma in the cold, calculating spirit cannot accept the idea of a divine providence, all-powerful and all-merciful, and vice versa. In the divine scheme, governed by love and compassion, pain and pleasure come to us for our own good in accordance with the divine will, irrespective of the law of karma. That's what some think. They don't take karma so seriously. Even prarabdha can be destroyed by God. God is all-powerful. That's why we say God is all-powerful. He can do anything. But God will not destroy it when you want it done. If He thinks that you are a great devotee and deserve special consideration, then God may destroy your prarabdha. Even Holy Mother Sharda Devi has said that. Yes, He can definitely remove your bad karmas any time, if only He shows His grace. If you come under His grace, it is possible. It is not impossible. Sri Ramakrishna said in the Gospel, to remain somehow united with God. That's very important. So, particularly for people who are householders, they have got so many entanglements, so many pulls, stress and strain and all sorts of things. So they should practice yoga through karma. That is, what should they do? They should perform duty properly. First of all, they should know what is duty. The tragedy is, nobody wants to know about the duty. That's the problem. So we are facing all sorts of problems and situations in life. People suffering because they have lost the value of duty. They think they can do anything. And everything, it is becoming more and more self-centered. How much do I get? How much happiness I get? How much enjoyment I get? How much benefit I get? So accordingly you judge a person. So where is your sacrifice? Where is your virtue? Where is your selflessness? Where is your compassion? All gone. So, if you don't know, first of all, the value of duty, if you don't know what are the duties in your life you have to accomplish, then how can you practice karma yoga? Huh? The other day one doctor was telling, oh Swami, I'm always busy. I will be always on the call. Is it karma yoga? You may call it, but it will not be karma yoga. Unless your mind is focused on God, it cannot become karma yoga. Sri Ramakrishna also said, you must reap the fruit of your own karma. If you aspire for God, you will get God. If you aspire for something else, you will get that something else. That means what you want, you will get that. So Sri Ramakrishna very clearly says, do your duties in the world as long as you need them to reap the fruit of the actions of your past lives. But you must develop love for God and be passionately attached to Him. The singing of the name and glories of God destroys the effect of past action. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna. Oh, what's the use of simply going doing bhajans? What is the use of simply sitting? The same thing can be said to all of your other actions also. What is this? You are simply seeing the TV, what do you get? So, if you turn to God, if you engage yourself positively, the karma, instead of binding you, it releases you. That's the point. So now comes the teaching of Lord Krishna. Very, very important teaching, which I would elaborate in my next Tuesday class also. Today I just have given the introduction, so to say, for the topic which I have chosen, the challenge of karma. Lord Krishna defines karma as an offering in sacrifice. As an offering in sacrifice. Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavodhyatma Muchyate Bhutavavod Bhavakaro Visarga Karma Sangitaha. The imperishable is the Supreme Brahman, the divine Godhead. Its dwelling in each individual body is called Adhyatma. You are telling individual soul? All the individual souls here, each one has got Adhyatma. The same Supreme Brahman, He dwells in each one of us as Adhyatma. The offering in sacrifice, which causes the genesis and support of beings, is called karma. Now the word sacrifice is used here. It has got a deep meaning. Sacrifice, it's a wonderful term. You know, in Vedic rituals, people offer oblations to the gods. Agnaye Swaha, Varunaya Swaha. Like that they offer the oblations to the fire god when they are performing Vedic ritual. That means you are calling particular god and offering your oblations to the gods. The gods are pleased by such offerings and they grant and sustain the desired objects, whatever you desired for. You want a good progeny, you want good health, you want prosperity, you want health, whatever you want, you ask for it. Oh Lord, please grant me this. And you give your offerings to God. And God does give you what you desired. Now this idea of karma as sacrifice can be extended to all happenings in life. Any creation and any sustenance need sacrifice. What is sacrifice? Spending of energy. We begin encountering karma as soon as we are born. A baby has just born, it has to eat, it has to breathe, it has to move. At every stage of its growth, a giving away is involved. As a child grows into manhood, more and more karma envelops him. Man's whole life is indeed ceaseless action, tiresome but unavoidable. Let us stop at this point. We shall continue the same topic next Tuesday. After reading this, we will have question answer session. Page 606, 607. Pandit said smilingly, "Worldly duties, sir. You know I have very little leisure." The Pandit sat down and the master began to talk with him. Master said, "You spent a long time in Benares. Tell us what you saw there. Tell us something about Dayananda." Pandit said, "Yes, I met him." "You also met him, didn't you?" Master said, "Yes, I visited him. He was living then in a garden house on the other side of the Ganges. Keshav was expected there that day. He longed for Keshav as a chatak bird longs for rain. He was a great scholar and made fun of the Bengali language. He admitted the existence of the deities, but Keshav did not. Dayananda used to say, God has created so many things, couldn't he have created the deities? Dayananda believed the ultimate reality to be without form. Captain was repeating the name of Rama. Dayananda said to him sarcastically, "Better repeat Sandesh." Pandit said. In Benares, the Pandits had great discussion with Dayananda. Finally, he was left alone with all the others against him. They made it so hot for him that he thought the only way to save himself was by running away. All the Pandits shouted with one voice, "Whatever Dayananda has said is to be despised." I saw Colonel Olcott too. The Theosophists believe in the existence of Mahatmas. They also speak of the lunar, solar, stellar and other planes. A Theosophist can go in his astral body to all these planes. Oh, Olcott said many such things. Well, sir, what do you think of theosophy? Master said, the one essential thing is bhakti, loving devotion to God. Do the theosophists seek bhakti? They are good if they do. If theosophy makes the realization of God the goal of life, then it is good. One cannot see God if one constantly busies oneself with the Mahatmas and the lunar, solar and stellar planes. A man should practice sadhana and pray to God with a longing heart for love of his lotus feet. He should direct his mind to God alone, withdrawing it from the various objects of the world. The Master sang, how are you trying, O my mind, to know the nature of God? You are groping like a madman locked in a dark room. He is grasped through ecstatic love. How can you fathom him without it? And for that love, the mighty yogis practice yoga from age to age. When love awakes, the Lord, like a magnet, draws to him the soul. Continuing, the Master said, you may speak of the scriptures, of philosophy, of Vedanta, but you will not find God in any of these. You will never succeed in realizing God unless your soul becomes restless for Him. Only through affirmation, never negation, can you know Him. Neither through Vedas, nor through Tantra, nor the six darshanas. It is in love's elixir only that He delights, O mind. He dwells in the body's inmost depths in everlasting joy. One must be very earnest about God. Listen to another song. Can everyone have the vision of Radha? Can everyone taste her love? This the rarest treasure of all. No earthly wealth can buy. Without devotions and sadhana, none can ever obtain it. The raindrop falling upon the deep when Swati shines on high is formed within the osseous shell into a priceless pearl. Can such a pearl be formed from rain that falls at other times? Mothers with their babes in arms may beckon to the moon to leave the sky and come to them, but only the babes are fooled. Does the moon ever leave the sky and dwell upon the earth? One must practice intense spiritual discipline. Can one obtain the vision of God all of a sudden without any preparation? She'll stop. And now you can ask, what is the question?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, perfectly all right. Yeah, it is true. Our scriptures have very clearly said that you are taking birth according to your own karma, undoubtedly. So in this life a person may be man or woman, in the next life he may be a snake, he may be a fox, he may be a jackal, he may be a tiger, he may be elephant. And there is a story there, probably it's a well-known story that probably in Sunday class I refer to that. Gajendra Moksha it comes, that there was a king, Indradyumna, was a very famous king and he was very devoted to Lord Vishnu. He was every day doing worship with great attention, meditation, concentration, and he looked after the people very well. The whole kingdom was prosperous. Even gods means angels, even they would come and see and have his darshan and give respects to him, because his devotion to God was so high. They appreciated it. And one of the rishis, Agastya Maharshi, wanted to test what even the gods are going and seeing that king. Is there something credible? Let me go and see what type of love and devotion he has towards God. I want to check myself. So he went there to see. Agastya Maharshi is one of the rishis. illumined souls. They are not ordinary sages. They are extraordinary sages with wisdom. And he went to see him. What happened was, just at that time the king was sitting in the worship room. Of course, he had performed the worship. It was over. He was not in the middle of the worship. It was just over. And the worship has been concluded. Doing meditation. That means he had some kind of, probably a trace of ego. But Agastya Maharshi pointed out, look, it's not good for you. You see, you must know the tradition of the king is, if the guest comes, you must receive him. That's our Hindu tradition. But you are pretending to be in meditation. You are showing up our ego in a different way, that I am a great devotee of God, I am adept in meditation, etc., I am sitting there, etc. Whatever it is, the egoism is there in you. A bit of egoism is there, it is not good for you. Agastya Maharshi is telling him, and he told, well, all your life through you might have worshipped Lord Vishnu, and probably you are devoted to him. It's perfectly all right, but this egoism is not good to you, so you have to get out of this egoism. So you have to be born as an elephant. He pronounced, you take the birth as an elephant. And so when this was done, then he got awakening. Oh, what a mistake I did. Then he apologized. Oh, Maharshi, it's wrong on my part. It's my mistake. Please excuse me. He said. Then Maharshi said, very good. But anyway, because that you have done that action, karma, definitely. There are many ways. One is evolutionary theory. One is man becoming God. Another is God becoming man. I mean, a dog. Man becoming dog is one way. Another way is dog becoming man. So both ways are there. But anyway, that is true. That is true. Yeah. Because the whole creation is governed by doctrine of karma. The whole universe. People are realizing it now. Now whatever it is, but your judgment, he is happy, I am unhappy. That itself is not a correct judgment, I should say. How do you know that he is happy? It looks, it's appearance only. Outwardly, in the same way you may be looked upon as a happy person by another one. So, whatever the reactions in your mind are entirely on account of your own actions, whether done in previous life or in this present life, whatever it is. It's because of the reactions of the mind you are suffering. Whatever it is, it may be due to previous karma also. Otherwise, how could that handicapped child is born to you? Because you are associated with such a person, and the combination of samskaras, the clash between the two samskaras, and the product is that. Everything has got the root in karma. Everything, even the happiness or suffering.
About previous karma.
Previous, present, all. Yeah,
So in the another life.
that's what I told just now. Create good impressions. Try to do positively. By doing that way, you will develop a strength. You will develop strength. Even though the suffering comes, you will not feel the suffering, because you get a strength. Suffering becomes a source of strength to you. It comes to strengthen you. You develop that attitude. You become strong, just like doing exercise. When you are doing exercise, you don't feel like doing it. But by forcefully doing it, afterwards you have the effect of that. Because you did exercise, you had the benefit of becoming strong. Same way. Suffering comes to strengthen you. That's one way. Another way is suffering is coming because of some actions, knowingly or unknowingly done in whatever way. It's because of that. So if you have that analytical mind, then you won't suffer even though the suffering is there. I tell you one example how cause and effect has that affected. Say, when I was in Bangalore, Ramakrishna Mission, I was sitting in the office. It was lunchtime, 12 o'clock. I was about to go to lunch, close the office and go. Immediately, 2, 3, 4 people, they rushed to the office. Oh, Swamiji, we want to see you urgently. Will you please spare some time? We want to talk. Generally, we lock the gate at 12 o'clock. But because they said they want to meet the Swami urgently, so they let them in. And I asked them, what's the matter? And they began to narrate the story. The story was, they have got a boy, about 20 years of age. But the boy had not come there. He could not come. Their problem is, they want to find a bride for that boy. And they are coming and asking me, Swamiji, ashrama, many people come. If you know anybody, we are happy to. Even that girl may be very poor, doesn't matter. Even the girl may not be looking beautiful also. That also doesn't matter. We want a girl, that's all. We will take care of her everything, only we want the girl to be married to that boy. Then I asked, what is the matter? What has happened to them? Then they began to tell the story of the boy. What has happened is, both his arms are amputated. The reason was, when he was a boy, he and his friend, they were walking, and there was little rain also. On account of rain, some electric wires, they were falling, and there was a short circuit. And these boys, in a playful mood, they were challenging. Who dares to touch the wire? Foolishness. But knowingly or unknowingly, what is done. I am telling you that point. So this boy dared, I will touch it. He thought, half a second he will touch it and immediately he will take back the hand. So in that process, he touched the wire. That was the end of it. And they could not do anything. His hands became paralyzed, and they had to amputate both the arms. That means he cannot move. Somebody has to make him turn round if he is on the bed. But though your arms may not be there, but his desire is there. He wants to have the company, etc., etc. And they were feeling very miserable. And Swami was prepared to spend any money. And again they are telling, one girl was there, she ran away. Who will stay like that, in that condition? See the fun. Why it happened? Because of that foolish action done by him when he was a boy. Is it not? But that is when he knew he did it. Like that we have done in the previous life also. Many things which we don't know. In a way it's good not to know it. If you know it, you unnecessarily keep on bothering, and you will suffer like anything. Better we don't remember what is done, whatever is done. Take as it is. Suffering comes, meet the challenge. That's all you have to do. We shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean, and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its curve to knowledge of thyself. O self, drown deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from the darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the Holy Ghost becomes pleased, he being satisfied, the Holy Ghost is satisfied.